we made the decision to move into rooftops, and rather than just the ownership of rooftops, because we've owned a number, including Bentley, which was much covered. But what we wanted to do was move in a more aggressive way, and therefore we thought that in order to be in front of the wave, because we believe this is a market sector that is definitely going to gain momentum. Everyone you talk to sort of envisages that. It's just a matter of when. So we looked at the assets of Renewable Resources, and as you may know, I think as you reported, we completed that deal last month. And certainly for us, that is continuing their original model, which was offering EPC services to entities that want to build their own assets. But as well as that, it's using that in-house functionality to be able to enhance our model, which is the ownership model. So we'll be able to, which they could never do before, rather than sort of say to a roof owner, would you like to pay for something PV to go on your roof? Our model continues where we actually pay for it, we operate and maintain, and we offer discounted electricity to the roof owner.
I guess it chimes in strongly with what Dec's been saying recently about commercial rooftops as well. They're really pushing on that. Is it going to be your focus now? It doesn't mean you're moving away from large scale, does it?
Absolutely not. I mean, it will be a focus in the same way as ground mount are a focus. No, I think the two are absolutely needed. The UK needs more electrical capacity, and it's shutting down more than it's turning on, and therefore the assumption that we can forget about what is a very scalable area of the market in terms of electrical generation would be insane, both from a governmental perspective and also for us from an industry perspective. We've built up that a methodology that works. We've built up all of that intellectual property, and we continue to use that to the full. But by the same token, we also see that it is a natural progression for the UK, once it gets over its leasing issues and bankability issues, that we move into, the same as the likes of Germany, etc. has done, and we move into utilising roof space. It's sitting there, it's doing nothing, it's pointing up. It makes sense to basically utilise that to the full. The fact that everybody wins, we're able to use existing grid rather than having to build new, which is a challenge for this market. We're able to basically supply what is already probably a big electricity user with discounted electricity, so they win too, and it allows us obviously to deploy significant funds, which is the name of the game for us, so our investors make a predictable and conservative but predictable return.
Is it too early to tell us your predictions?
In terms of roof?
Or ambitions even? Yeah.
I mean, Renewable Resources, I believe, did something like 35 megawatts in there last year, and certainly from our perspective, in terms of the building for other market, we would want that to continue. But certainly we think that we'd like to think 100 megawatts is achievable in the next 12 months in large scale roofs, and certainly the pipeline that we are working on, both inherited from them and a pipeline in our own right, would suggest that even with a significant level of attrition, that should be achievable if we get over the challenges that we currently have. And I think that brings into it the changes, the positive changes that government via DEC has pushed through, or is pushing through. Hopefully that will mean an enhancement to the fit rate, because currently at anything up to 250 kilowatts is fine, but there's a sort of void between 250 kilowatts and maybe 2 megawatts, which just doesn't make financial sense. So hopefully something sensible can happen there. But in terms of bankability, the ability to move the panels from postcode 1 to postcode 2 and have the feed-in tariff move with it, that is a very, very a significant consideration from a bankability perspective. We haven't historically, when building something, used banks, but we still use the concept of bankability whenever we're investing our investors' cash, because ultimately we've got to give a very high level of security to them that we're spending their money in a very secure and responsible way.